Hey guys, I am doing a 5-part series on why mind-body connection health matters. Part 1 is better self-control. Everyone on the planet has a vice, a habit that you just can't fully break. It always seems to resurface at a moment of weakness. For some people, that weakness might be sugar or snacks. Others, it might be shopping, doom scrolling, or gossiping. In extreme cases, these behaviors can be a lot more destructive, like substance use or toxic relationship patterns. Addictions are not just substances, but they can be behaviors, events, experiences, people, or substances. Any addiction is formed because it shifts our brain chemistry towards something that it needs. Your brain remembers this vice was a way to regulate your nervous system. If the habit isn't helping you anymore, then your brain needs an update about what options are available to help it achieve the same result. This is where mind-body connection practices come in. They help us to zoom out from the roller coaster of pain and desire and pleasure and shame enough to observe our patterns and afford us the opportunity to make different choices. Once we are free from those cycles, we can go on the journey of finding what replacement practices are more aligned with the life you want for yourself. Part 2 is it can increase your thinking and productivity. Think of your brain as having an upstairs and a downstairs portion to it. The upstairs of the brain is in charge of focused attention, logic, decision-making, relationships, and other higher thinking functions. The downstairs brain is in charge of survival functions like evaluating threat, breathing, and quick movement. When we are under stress, the brain wants to prioritize the survival functions, so it's going to send blood flow away from the thinking brain in order to give those resources to the survival brain. This is why people with social anxiety might show up stiff or uncomfortable or not know what to say in conversations. It's because the higher functions in your brain are operating with less resource because of the stress response. Mind-body connection practices send a signal that helps restore the blood flow back to the front of the brain, and that helps reactivate your higher thinking capabilities. Part 3 is to increase your integrity and consistency in character. Have you ever felt mixed around making a decision? You might say, one part of me feels one way, but a different part of me feels another way. Every single person has different parts to their personality, and each of these parts represents different values or beliefs. Integrity literally means to integrate all of these parts together. When mind-body connection health is weak, our values compete against one another, causing ambivalence and war internally. It causes us to address problems through the lens of choosing the most important value, and the solutions we come up with are win-lose situations in nature, and this selectively represents our character and our decisions. When our mind-body connection is strong, we are united, we are whole, we are one. We become great at finding solutions that create win-win scenarios. This means that we learn to make decisions that represent all of our values at the same time, so we are able to create more consistency in our character through our decision making. Part 4 is better intuition. It's a common misunderstanding in our culture believing that logic is king and the brain is the master of our experience. In reality, only about 20% of our experience actually comes from the information stored in our head. The other 80% comes from the information stored in the whole rest of the body. The newest research shows that we have brain-like neurological centers both in the heart and in the gut. These centers are even capable of making decisions independent of our head brain. Neuroscientists are now calling us the 3-brained beings with a head brain, a heart brain, and a gut brain. When you follow your heart or have a gut instinct about something, you're engaging information stored from the heart or the gut centers of the body. People who are naturally intuitive have a strong mind-body connection, and they make decisions that consider all 3 brains. You can increase your intuitive sense by making mind-body connection a daily practice and engaging the wisdom your heart brain and your gut brain have to offer. Part 5 is more joy. If you've ever spent time with young children, you know they are outrageously and unapologetically authentic. They have no problem asking for what they need, sharing their opinion, or expressing how they really feel. Neurologically speaking, joy is a relational pattern. It is the experience of being consistently delighted in, accepted, received, and loved. If the child has these needs met consistently, expressions of love will become their inner voice over time. They will develop a joyful identity. This is not reality for most adults because those needs have not been sufficiently met. We learn to believe, I must become something else because love gets removed if I don't show up the right way. This happens to all of us on a spectrum from mild to severe. Some of us have been deprived of these needs for so long that we don't even know what we really want, how to think, or how to feel without someone else's approval. This enslaves us to the opinions of others and robs us from experiencing true joy. Mind-body connection practice helps us to re-engage what is authentic. This creates an invitation to let love into the rejected spaces and reclaim the joy that is our birthright.